So I'm not feeling well. I'm going to record a lesson here, and hopefully you guys will be able to get enough out of it that it's helpful and not too overwhelming for a sub lesson. But so the date you guys will be doing this on is 2/12. We're going to talk about these types of problems that we did last time. So we're going to do a little bit of review and a little bit of new stuff. Nothing, I don't think, too impossible in terms of anything that you guys can't do without me. I think you guys will be able to do it. So just reminding you guys with negative tangents or negative angles. So we go back this way to go negative. So the normal way is counterclockwise. We're going clockwise. And this is negative 180. So I'm going 30 degrees past that to get to negative 120, which would be here. But I went 30 degrees past, but the triangle that I want to make is going back to the x-axis. So this actually is a 60-degree angle here, because I went 30 past. I'm 60 short of making it to 180. So that means this is our 30, 60, 90, which I start with our short side, which is 1, but it's going to be a negative 1 because we're going left. We're going down square root of 3, and then the hypotenuse is 2. So for tangent, we're doing TOA. So we're doing opposite over adjacent. And so it ends up being a positive square root of 3. Now, we hadn't done, I don't know if we did any like this in our last lesson, but you might be thinking 495, well that's more than 360. So you can spin all the way around. So that would be 360. So 495, I still need to go another 135 degrees. So I'm going to go 90, and I'm not going to quite go to 180, I'm going to go halfway. And so this becomes a 45, 45, 90. Again, I went 45 degrees past 90. But I'm 45 short of 180. And so this type of triangle is the 1, 1, square root of 2. So again, going back here, 30, 60, 90 is 1, square root of 3, or sorry, yeah, square root of 3 and 2. This one is 1, 1, square root of 2. So I went left, so that's a negative 1. I went up, that's positive 1. I probably should be using a different color that you guys can see better. So negative 1, positive 1, and then square root of 2 would be here. So my sign is my so. So I'm going to do opposite over hypotenuse from 45 degrees. So 1 over the square root of 2. Opposite over hypotenuse. And then I don't like that square root in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply each part by the square root. And this is square root of 4, which is just 2. So that's going to be our answer. Great. So we're going to talk about these quadrantal angles today. And so what that means is these are the ones I had you guys cross off last time. They're angles that like land right on the axis. So in terms of this, it's not in the in-between. So any quadrantal angles are angles right on our axis. Axes, plural. So it's going to land on the axis. Now, so basically this is like if I get an angle of like 0 degrees, I would be right on this axis as my coordinate point. Now this point, I'm going straight out, and again, I mentioned it once with the unit circle. Basically, we just assume that we're going out 1. So this coordinate point would be 1, 0. I'm going to do the same thing for 90. But when I go straight up 1, instead of being 1, 0, it's going to be 0, 1. So that's that coordinate point in the xy axis. Then if I go this way, straight out 1, it's actually negative 1, 0. And that would be 180 degrees. And then if I go straight down, which is 270, This would be, I don't go left or right at all, so I go 0, and then I go down 1. Now you're probably wondering how that corresponds to our cosine, sine, and tangent. So one of the things that I'm going to just tell you right now, I can explain it more next time we're together, is that the x-coordinate is always our cosine, and our y-coordinate is always our sine. So they're telling you cosine is going to be 1 here, and the sine is going to be 0. Here they're telling you the cosine is going to be 0, and the sine is going to be 1. So whatever that coordinate is going to be the value of the cosine or sine. And you can check that. Again, if you check cosine of 0 degrees in your calculator, you should get 1. If you check sine of 0 degrees, you should get 0. Now, the one that's kind of strange is tangent. So tangent is basically the y over the x, or the sine over the cosine. So in this case, tangent of 0, again, it's going to be y over x, so it's going to be 0 over 1, and anything 0 divided by 1 is just going to be 0. And I can kind of do that for each of these, so kind of just showing you guys another one. So here, cosine of 90. And again, until you're comfortable with it, like, or if you're not like, where's she getting this from? You can always check with your calculator. Cosine of 90 is this first coordinate. So cosine of 90 should be 0. The sine of 90 is the second one. And that's just going to be 1. And then the tangent of 90, now this time again, it's sine over cosine, so this one's going to be 1 over 0, which doesn't make sense. We call it undefined when you divide by 0. So in this case, tangent doesn't basically work. You're going to, like, if you did tangent of 90 in your calculator, it would give you, if you did tangent of 90, sorry, I think it just paused. If it did tangent of 90 in a calculator, it would give you an error message. Sorry. All right, let's just put the other ones up here right away. So again, cosine of 180. Again, it's the first coordinate here. So that's going to be -1. Sine of 180 is just going to be the other coordinate, which would be 0. And then tangent of 180 is sine over cosine, so 0 over 1, which is just 0. And then finally, cosine of 270 is the first one, so that's going to be 0. Sine of 270 is going to be this one, which is -1. And then tangent of 270 is going to be sine over cosine, so -1 over 0, which again is going to be another undefined. And we're going to learn more about what that means in this case, but it doesn't have a mathematical answer in that one. Okay. So we're going to use that to figure out a few of these. I don't think I have any more down here. Okay. So again, doing some practice with this, I kind of just did a lot of these for us, but as we're going through this, what I essentially would do, so sine of 90, so 90 degrees is here. So that is 0, 1. I don't go left or right at all. I just go up 1. And it goes cosine, oops, if I could spell cosine, cosine comma sine. So all I do is I look at that 1 and say cosine of 90 would just be 1. So these actually, I think, are a little bit easier once you get the hang of them. Again, you can kind of flip back to our sheet, but at the same time getting used to being able to do these. So you go here, so 270. So this coordinate point, we don't go left or right at all, we just go down 1. Oops, that should be a -1 there. And cosine is just the first one, so this would just be 0. Tangent of 180, we're going here. So that is -1, 0, and again, it's where I am in the coordinate system. And it's sine over cosine. And so this is cosine, this is sine. So we're doing 0 over -1. So we get just 0 for the tangent of 180. Now these -1s, you have to think about going the other direction. So in this case here, -360. So normal direction is counterclockwise. We're going this way. So we're going 1, 0. And then again, sine, it goes cosine, sine. So our sine is just 0. Tangent of -90. Down to here. This is, I don't go left or right at all, I just go down 1. And again, sine over cosine. Or you can think of it as y over x. So it's going to be a -1 over 0, which this one would be undefined. So cosine of 180 would go this way. Again, I think we did that one up over there, right here. So -1, 0, and the cosine is just the first value. Okay, so that's the new thing that I thought we could do for today. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, you know, just ask questions when we get back, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. You can always shoot me an email today, or an email as well if you're really struggling, but hopefully you guys should be able to figure it out together. So the last thing we're talking about, which I actually might start a new video. These don't upload very well if I try to upload